Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be getting into something a little bit different outside of my normal content. It's a really sad time right now, but we're going to take a look into what happened at the Trump rally that was held in Pennsylvania. I'm not going to talk too much in this intro, but just make sure you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel for more up-to-date content. And yeah, with no further ado, we're just going to hop into today's video.
Gunfire erupted at a campaign rally for former President Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania, Saturday. Trump said a bullet struck him in the ear. Here's how the attack unfolded. President Trump was speaking from a stage located here, with Secret Service snipers in position on the roof of a building behind the stage. The suspected gunman was on the roof of another building less than 450 feet away from where Trump was speaking, with a clear line of sight.
That's insane.
And look what happened to our country.
Moments before the shooting, we can hear nearby spectators saying they see someone with a gun.
He's got a gun!
At the same time, while Trump speaks, the Secret Service snipers can be seen facing the gunman's direction. We see the agent on the roof pick his head up just before shots ring out at 6:15. Secret Service agents rush to pull Trump to the ground. As they rush him from the stage, blood can be seen on the bleachers behind where Trump was speaking. A spectator was killed and 2 more were critically injured at the event. The suspected gunman, 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks, was shot and killed.
Real crazy thought.
Okay, I just want to stop the video for a second. Do you think that they fumbled? They dropped the ball on that one? Because my thing is, how did they not see the shooter? If the shooter is right here and they're right here, how did they not see him?
President Trump missed that bullet by an angel's breath. He might have been on stage with his vice president as well. Not only could the leader of the Republican Party have been killed tonight, but also his anointed successor.
I was standing there and all of a sudden it sounds like firecrackers going off.
I thought it was firecrackers too. Like fire, a BB gun.
But then I heard the shots, and then all of a sudden somebody hollers, "Get down on the ground," and everybody's going down on the ground as low as they can get. Then the Secret Service comes running up through and says, "Everybody out, get out of here now." And they ushered us out of the area.
Everybody stood together and everybody screamed out the Father's prayer and everybody prayed together. That was amazing. That was something that was beautiful. That was really cool. Yeah. Everyone together in the stands praying.
Horrifying. I mean, the shot, I mean, and the stuff was coming off the side. For people to do that, I don't know. It's just, it's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. It's just going to drive people to even be more for him. I mean, especially when that picture comes out.
I'm very upset. I can't say for sure who's behind this, but I'll tell you what, it's only going to cause more division in this country because of the people that support President Trump.
And so when those first few bullet noises happened, there were people all around me, including myself, that thought that this was a firework or a BB gun, that it wasn't an actual shooting event. But as they kept coming, everyone kind of really quickly hit the floor, including the president. And it was a little bit of a dazed situation at that point. As we kind of peeked our heads back up, Secret Service had formed that kind of shell around him, and I got a little bit of footage of that. And the first thing I saw was him, reach out his fist to the audience. Come to find out later that he was saying, "Fight, fight." And that definitely caused a ripple through the crowd. Everyone noticed that. It really kind of energized everyone. He gets on stage, and I was standing right there, probably about 40 feet from him in the friends and family VIP section. And he gets on, and within the first 5 or 6 minutes, he immediately begins telling a series of stories about this chart that he had brought on about immigration that had to do with the difference between President Biden's record in when it came to the border versus his. And thank God for that chart,
Wow.
because
I
I
didn't
think
think
it's
of
because
that.
of his head turning left and right as he was explaining the things that were on that chart that that first bullet actually missed him. There is that picture of one of the bullets whizzing by his head that one of the New York Times reporters got. I think the only reason that he didn't get
Wow. Yeah, I
hit
did
today
not
is because
catch
that
that.
chart was on the television and he was turning his head.
Thank God.
President was maybe at 2 o'clock to my right. I turned to my left at 10 o'clock, about 40 feet away. In the bleachers, it was really clear that something was going on. Come to find out later that that was one of the other victims. There was a lot of blood. There were several people who seemed to have blood on their shirts. I guess they were trying to take care of that person. They were carrying him out. It wasn't super clear whether it was on a gurney or a stretcher or just with their arms and legs, but it was very clear that someone had been much more seriously injured than the president, and there was visible blood everywhere. It wasn't really much when it came to President Trump, at least from the angle that I was at. You see in the picture later that his ear got clipped and that he was bleeding a lot, but it was this really grisly scene to our left with what was going on with the bleachers. The audience wasn't like what you'd expect out of a crowd
I'm
that
pretty
just
sure they were in
experienced something
shock
like this. Everyone was really
and
quiet. There were a
confused.
few women crying. They were, saying, "I can't believe they tried to kill him." But President Trump raising his fist really reassured the audience, and the overwhelming feeling was both care and concern. Wondering if he was okay and being glad that it seemed like he was okay. There was no stampede out of the arena that you would expect in a situation like this. And as I was walking back to my car, it was about a third of a mile walk back to the car. Most people weren't hysterical. They weren't, freaking out. They were just having these quiet, muttering conversations, hoping that the president was okay. It was a really striking vignette into the kinds of people who come to these rallies and why they come to them. They really love the president. They really support him. And in that moment, above and beyond their own personal safety, they were worried about his. Yeah, so everyone had to go through metal detectors. There was a long line of Secret Service. I got through one of these expedited lines, and so it was a little bit shorter, but everyone had to walk through metal detectors. Everyone had to take out their phone and their keys and their badges, and, there was stuff being taken away. There was, stuff that wasn't allowed in. And so it seemed as airtight as security can look at something like this. The real crazy thought is, President Trump missed that bullet by an angel's breath. He might have been on stage with his vice president as well. Not only could the leader of the Republican Party have been killed tonight, but also his anointed successor. And so it's just a real lesson in how abrupt history can be. And we missed a historical pivot moment tonight in the future of the country on many levels.
So, okay, let's stop the video for a sec. Wow, this is a lot. This is this is a heck of a lot. I'm happy that not everybody was freaking out, going crazy, because in times like that, I feel like it's best to stay calm. Try not have everybody running this way, that way, because at the end of the day, we don't know if they got the guy. So, and in a time like that, yes, it's always safe and best to just stay calm and just do what everyone says to do. So next, I would have to say, what is something that we could have done to prevent this? This is something I would like to know. So we're going to listen to this guy, and we're going to see if there was anything that could have been done to prevent this before this had actually unfolded.
Yeah. There may not be anything that could have been done, and this person was able to perform this nefarious activity without being detected by the Secret Service for some reason. Don't know the answer to that, but I can tell you the Secret Service, the FBI, and those local, state, and federal partners are going to be looking at this with a fine-tooth comb.
Oh, I know
and
they
being
will.
able to send out a message to all the details now to make sure that whatever happened here, there are no copycat situations moving along, or to make sure that everybody that we're protecting in open-air venues like this is double-checking, triple-checking, and quadruple-checking everything that needs to be checked.
This evening we had what we're calling an assassination attempt against our former president, Donald Trump. It's still an active crime scene. As I mentioned, we have a number of agents on scene. Again, at this time, we are not prepared to identify who the shooter is. We are close to that identification, and as soon as we are 100% confident in who that individual is, we will share it with the press.
The immediate focus was life safety, getting the former president out of there, and to care, getting care to the other victims, and trying to secure the scene as quickly as possible. I guess if I had to point to where we are right now, the single greatest priority would be to identifying a motive and whether there was anyone else involved.
Yeah, this is insane. This is something I want to say about this whole situation, okay? That's why I feel as though we have to be very careful when we start saying things about people, or this person is evil and they do this and they do that and bad. You know, we have to really be careful when doing stuff like that and putting that narrative out into the world, because you will always come across someone who's not mentally strapped too tight, let's say. So when you're going around and you're saying that this guy, it's the second coming of Satan or Hitler, you know, people might take that personal and be like, hey, well, this guy is so bad, like everyone says that he is, then why don't I go down in history for taking out the second coming of Hitler? Why don't I take him out and just do everyone a favor? You have to be careful when putting out a narrative like that about someone. When you say stuff like this, you don't know who's gonna take that for face value and take that for fact. You know, and then stuff like this happens. They take it upon themselves, and then you have situations like this where everyone could possibly get hurt. Now it's amazing, and I'm happy that he got out of there unscathed. You know, he's gonna be fine, but we have to really be careful, and we all have to do our part to make sure that we do not put out, quote unquote, what Trump says, fake news. You have to really be careful when you say something about someone and you put that out there, because tragic situations like this could happen, and it's a good thing that this was not as worse as it could have been. We've seen worse cases where stuff like this happened. Not only he could have got hurt, but everyone there could have definitely got hurt. So it's amazing that he walked away unscathed with just minor injuries. I'm definitely going to keep, you know, tabs on this situation, on this story as it unfolds, and to see and learn more about the shooter and who he is and what was his motive in doing so. So you guys just stay put, and if you guys want to be up to date as well, yeah, stick around. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to find out more. That's all I have to say. So until next time, I will see you guys on the next one. Alright guys, you be safe.